Hi, this is Adam Kunzmiller with Board Game Geek at Gen Con 2016, and I'm joined by Ted Alsbach of Bezier Games.
Yay.
And we're here to talk about America, a trivia party game where close counts.
Nice.
So, what's going on with America?
Hey, America is a follow-up to Fauna, which was an SCJ nominee. Back in the day, it went up against Dominion. It's kind of not fair.
It was a rough year.
It was pandemic, but Dominion and Fauna. Fauna's like, hello, anyone. Anyway, that was an awesome game. It was about animals, and you had to figure out where they were in the world and other questions. It was really fun, very interactive, great new take on trivia games. Last year, we published Terra, which is a follow-up from Freedom, and again, worldwide, but it was geography and history-based. Good if you're smart. Still good if you're not that smart, but better if you're smart.
Better if you're smart.
So while we were developing that and kind of doing the English version of that, we were thinking, we'd like to really put in some questions that are a little more pop culture based and whatever. And it really didn't fit Terra, unfortunately, because the rest of it was all kind of staged.
Sure.
You know, where did Marco Polo go? You know, all right, well, he went here and here and here.
Also, what was Taylor Swift's first album?
Well, yes, exactly. Or how tall was Taylor Swift? You know,
that's a good one.
That sort of thing. And so we couldn't do any of that, mainly because all those cool things happen to originate mostly in the U.S. So, you know, as awesome as we are, we forget exactly how awesome we are when we think that so much pop culture, so many inventions, so many different things either originated or they became popular in the US before other countries. So by including any of that stuff, it would be like, the answer is obviously the US, even if it's not, I'm going to put it there because the odds are that's where we're going to go. Mm-hmm. So I really couldn't include any of those things. The more we're thinking about it was, hey, maybe we'll do a North American version. And we realized that Canada hasn't contributed as much as all of us love Canada, but they really haven't done that much. So Canada got wiped off the map.
Okay.
I love Mexican food, but what else is produced in Mexico or Mexico is famous for? There's some things, but not, again, as much. So we kind of got rid of those countries, they're almost invisible.
Don't need them.
Got rid of the oceans because, hey, not that much going on there. And we ended up with basically all 50 states here. And in doing that process, we kind of went through what are the things that are going to make people kind of the most engaged in a trivia game. And one thing that a lot of people hate is like how many times does R2 beep in the first Star Wars movie?
Sure.
I don't know, I don't really care, but there's a number, and it's on a trivia card in Trivial Pursuit Star Wars.
And some people know it.
Yes, and
Maybe.
That's annoying, and you hate those people, and they're going to win Trivial Pursuit Star Wars because they know that stuff.
Right.
So that's unfun trivia. We decided to do fun trivia. All of our stuff is stuff that either you can estimate, or someone might know, and that's fine. And some stuff seems, it's so easy, but maybe it's not. You know, there's little twists to different things. And so that's the type of topics we have. So we have pop culture with movies and books and TV shows and music and food, lots of food stuff, great American type food. We have some history and geography that's takes place in America. We've got inventions, we've got games, lots of board game stuff. There's actually a card in here about this game. It's very meta.
Nice, very meta.
Yeah, people are like, whoa, hold on. No controlled substances while playing the game is the recommendation on the box. And so the type of topics we're covering, I think, are a lot more fun, a little more approachable to the average, certainly American, than some of the more heady type topics you have in Terra or even Fauna. So that's one area that we focused on. The other thing was simplifying kind of the categories. In Terra, you have a lot of different categories like these bars. There's these straight bars across the bottom, and it was always two of those three plus someplace in the world. And while that was cool, it was actually very nice, and you could do a lot of different things with it. It was also a little harder to figure out from the cards what was going on because you had a color coding system, and it was just a little confusing. You also had an imperial and metric thing going on, which is crazy. It's crazy that we're not on metric, yes, but it's also crazy that we'd be forced to learn metric when all of us just internally know our wonderful imperial system. So this is all imperial based, but instead of having those things, we just have three different things here. We have a track, that's the year, so when something happened, or when it was invented, or when it was created, or first time, whatever. We have all the different states, all 50 states. A little different than Terra 2 is that only one state can be an answer. There's never more than one state can be an answer. They're all kind of their own independent little things. And we have Alaska and Hawaii, and in this game they're adjacent to each other. Just a note to everyone watching this, in real life, they're not adjacent to each other. They're a little bit further away than this. It's not to scale. And Alaska's a little bigger too, and Hawaii's a little smaller. But other than that, it's all totally accurate. And at the bottom here we have
like
a row
quantity
that's just
track kind of thing.
Yeah. And in addition, these are set up a little differently than the other games in that if you place a cube on a spot like this, you're saying that the answer is somewhere between 15 and 19.99999 with a bar.
Okay.
You're saying it's going to be one of those things. If the number's anywhere in there, you are correct, and you get 7 points. Anyone who places adjacent to the correct answer is going to get 3 points. So
Okay.
there's always one correct answer, and there are always at least 2 adjacent answers. Of course, here in the States, there could be, if New Mexico is correct, you're going to have actually 4 potential adjacent answers next to it that are correct as well that you're going to get points for.
So why don't we look at a question and see what it's
let's
like?
go ahead and just walk through it. So if you're basically the smartest person gets to choose the cards. Well, I'll help you do this.
Oh,
you can
thank you.
choose, well, you don't actually pick them up. You actually look on this side or the other side and choose what you'd like.
Pizza.
You don't take the cards out.
Oh,
Never
okay.
never take the cards
Getting
out.
ahead of myself. This one right here.
All right, so that one there is pizza. Now, by you choosing the card, it means I get to go first.
Okay.
So there are 3 different things that I can answer. The first one there is opening the first Pizza Hut. That's a year. So it's going to be somewhere on this track here. It could be back here in 1492. It could be as recent as 2015. I don't think either of those are
Not a
right,
great
but it
guess, but-
could be anywhere. You've got the most pizzerias, which is a state. And you'll see down here we have year and state and number. And by the way,
I
the
see.
wooden box does not come with the game. It comes with a cardboard box. This is a broken token one that they're making for the game that you can get as well. But the cardboard box is very nice too. And then finally we have a number, which is how many pizzas are eaten every year. And of course, these are all America-centric. So the fact that, Italy made a lot of pizza doesn't really matter. We don't care. It's just how many are eaten in the U.S. So we're all focusing on about what happens in America there. So those are the 3 things I can answer. And let's say that I'm red. I'm going to choose one of these things. So the opening first Pizza Hut, I think, is probably, when I was a kid, they were around in the 70s. So it's before that. So I'll say 65.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my answer. Then it's anyone else's turn. Now, we can play this with as few as 2 players. I actually plays kind of good with 2 players. So now it's your turn. You can answer the year, the state, or the number question.
So I pick any one of these. Am I able to? I can't answer what you've
Right, you
answered.
can't go
I
on my
assume?
spot. Any spot I go on is I've claimed it. You can go on any other one.
So I'm just going to guess California for the most.
He's going with
pizzerias.
California for the most things. Excellent guess. I feel pretty confident in my guess, so I'm going to go again. I'm going to go
try to get more
again up here,
points.
kind of crowd this in here, because I think if I'm going to get a lot of points, I'll get them all in one.
I need to
one
start
chunk here.
boxing you in here.
Exactly.
A bit. Interesting.
Then maybe I'll go with a number, and I'm pretty smart, so I'll say it's 100 million pizzas every year. And so you're saying between 10 and 99 million is back to me. I'll go up to 1 billion. I actually know the answers here. I'm kind of fudging things a little,
that's
but
not
that's
fair.
fine. Don't worry about it. You went to New York because that would actually make sense. Both New York and California, lots of people. One of the other things you can do, let's say that I think you are totally off the wall here. I don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's not either of those. I can bet against you by choosing one of these spaces over here.
I got it.
We've got no exact or no exact or adjacent. If I say no exact, it means you just did not get the correct state. You might be adjacent to it, but you didn't hit it. If I say no exact or adjacent, you're not even touching the right state. So let me do that. Let me just ping here, because I'm hoping you're totally off on your answer here, and I'm going for those points. You can even bet against yourself. So I go, you know what? I don't know, maybe no one got it right, and I can go on there.
Sure.
And that's totally fine. So you're going to have all your cubes to spend. You can spend them if you want to. If you save them, you're guaranteed to have them next round. If you spend them and you're wrong, you'll lose them, and you only get one of the ones lost at the end of the round.
So now that we're all happy with what we've placed and what we've kept, I assume we reveal the answers.
So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to reveal what's here. So the year was 1958, so you nailed it. That's awesome. So for you, you're going to go ahead and get 7 points because you got an exact right answer. I, on the other hand, was off by 1 spot, so I'm going to get 3 points.
Okay.
Nobody gets the other adjacent thing. This is no good. And of course, someone did get the exact, so those are out right now. We go to the most pizzerias. The correct answer was California, so you've got 14 now. This one comes off the board. Whoops. And because you answered these right and they scored your points, they're back in your supply for use in the next turn. I was wrong again. That's out. I'm terrible at this game. Pizzas eaten every year is 3 billion. Well, that one I nailed. So I get 7 for that, and I get 3 more because I placed adjacent to it.
Makes
So
sense.
that's an additional 10 points. So that's our score right now.
So what determines the end of the game?
We're going to play 6 cards. That's it.
Oh, it's just 6 cards?
6 cards,
Score it.
and you're done.
They're done.
And the nice thing here, again, is the box is going to pass around. So now it's my turn. So I'm going to take this card. This is a very clever little thing here. I take this, I slide it behind here. Now what this is doing, there's another card in the back here.
Sure.
This will slowly push its way out to the front of the other side. Just as when we take cards on this side and put them there, they'll
Slowly push to that
out.
side.
So you're going to go through all the cards, but never see them twice until you've seen all the cards, which is kind of cool. So I just slide it back there. Now my choices are Apple Pie or The Walking Dead, which tend to go very well together. So then I could go through and let's do The Walking Dead one, because I think I know that more better than you, etc.
And how many players does it support?
Up to 6, from 2 to 6. You can play it by yourself too if you're really, really bored, but it doesn't actually say that on the box.
And how long, I mean, maximum time here, how long would a typical 6-player game take?
Usually anywhere between 20 minutes and a half hour. It really depends. If you're lots of discussion, with the different things, and you're trash talking people. It's a fun game to do that sort of thing and betting against people. But,
and is this available now?
This is just released at Gen Con. So you can pick it up here at Gen Con. We've got a limited number, and then later this month we'll have it out throughout distribution everywhere else.
All right, well, thank you, Ted, once again for taking us through America.